How to create an avatar from one of your photographs. First thing you want to do is look for a photograph or take a photograph that has a very simple background. You don't want the background fighting with the portrait of the person. So if you haven't already brought a photo in, go to File, Open, and open your photograph from whichever drive it's located. Okay, we have a photo here we're ready to work with. One of the first things we want to do is sort of simplify the information here and kind of plastify it, and because that's one of the things you want to try to achieve in an avatar. So we're going to be using filters heavily in this work. So first let's choose Filter here, and let's go down and choose Blur, and we're going to choose a surface blur. Click on Surface Blur. Now you sort of see what kind of blur you're going to get. It automatically applied the blur. Actually, you can see that what it did. You can do the toggle here between the radius of the pixels affected, and then you can also set the threshold. I would never set the threshold over between about 5 and 8. That's really, because threshold really makes things change rapidly. I probably want to have, okay, you see how that plastified the image a little bit? That looks good. I'm going to hit OK. The next thing I want to do is use another filter. Go back under Filter, and actually if it's not showing all your filters, click Show All Menu Items. We want to choose the Artistic filter. So click on Artistic, and then go over and choose the Poster Edges filter. So we have poster edges. And now you see how that automatically changed. It's going to make it even more like a cartoon. Okay, with poster edges, again, we have all these different toggles over here. You see how when I move them around, it really changes things. This first one really increases the thickness of the edges. This gives it a real big edge intensity. You probably don't want a lot there, but you probably do want the full amount of posterization. See, we're starting to look kind of Warholish now, and now as we go over, we get smoother, so we probably want that on 6. We want our edge intensity probably on 1 or 0, depending on your photo. You know, your photo may be different than mine, and so you're going to have different settings here. You're just going to do it until you get. You're going to change these little toggles until you get what you want. So I think probably an edge thickness of maybe, let's see, I think 8 looks good there. So I'm happy with that. I'm going to hit OK. Next, I want to use another filter. We're starting to get there, but not quite yet. So I'll go under Filter, and I want to choose Sharpen, and then I want to choose the Smart Sharpen filter. Okay, here's the Smart Sharpen. It's already applied it a little bit. Again, we have these toggle buttons, and this is the percentage, the radius of what pixels are affected. I think I probably want I want it to be smooth, a little bit smoother. Actually, somewhere in here looks pretty good. Just keep toggling until you get where you want it. Okay, that looks pretty good to me. You can also remove the Gaussian blur or the lens blur or motion blur by using these buttons. So I'm hit OK. Looks pretty good. We're getting there. Okay, I want to use another filter again. Go back under Filter, and then sharpen and sharpen edges. It's going to give me even more of an edge look, and that was one that just works by itself. It didn't have a real big toolbox. Okay, now also I want to, you may find you have some weird little lines somewhere that you kind of want to remove, or some noise or something. And to do that, you want to use the tool called Clone, or the Clone Stamp, and that is over here. Just click on its little toolbox. You see you can clone a surface area, or you can clone a pattern. I just want the regular Clone Stamp tool, so I click that. Clone Stamp tool, let me make my brush a little bigger. Remember, its toolbox is up here. This toolbox is pretty small. It's pretty small right now. Okay, 17 is a good size brush. Now I'm going to go down here, and let's see, what do I want to remove? I want to remove some of this weird neck stuff down here. It looks kind of weird. So I'm going to Alt and left click to sample some nice skin here. And you see our opacity is at 55%. We could make that a little more, so it'll cover over that area. And so I'm going to, again, Alt click, and then I'm going to go back up here to the area I want to get rid of, and then just wand over it. Okay, see, it's taking from the surface area and removing, covering up those lines with some of the information from the smoother area that we sampled from. I want to get rid of this. Okay, and that. Okay, I think that looks pretty good. Oh, I've got a little black stuff up here. Let me sample. Alt, left click, and then go over the area I want. Alt, left click, and go over the area I want to cover. And there's a little bit of black here. I think I'll remove that too. So let me Alt, click, and then move over it. Okay, I think that looks pretty good, and I am satisfied. Oh, there's one more spot. Alt, click, and cover that up. Okay. Alright, that looks good, and so now I'm going to File, Save As. I'm going to save it as Rebecca Avatar. And I'm going to probably be using this in an application on the web, so I want to save it as a GIF because I'm not going to print it. So I've got saved as a GIF. I hit Save. Okay. Okay. And then I probably want to keep this large file to use, but I'll also want to crop it down when I get ready to make it the size I want to use in my application that are on the web. And so that's how you make an avatar.